Okay, family. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay in the comments. The way you know you're watching the replay is when you look up and you don't see that live red box. That means you are watching the replay. If you're a noob and you've never watched any of our lives before, go ahead and put hashtag new in the comments. And if you're watching us live, go ahead and put hashtag HasK in the comments. And go ahead and drop that clock because every day we are reclaiming our time. My name is Katia Green. This is my lovely wife, Stephanie Green. We make up HasK. We are the superheroes of self-care, also known as transformational mentors. We help wounded healers activate their inner superhero, aka the inner child, so they can live a bold, fun, and free life. Welcome to After Dark. You want to start the topic?
Sure. Oh no. Hold on. Actually, can you interact and share to my page? Thanks. All right. So I ramped into this topic, and I thought it was an interesting topic. Um, just because of the response and some of the responses I've seen regarding this. If you've been on Facebook, the book the last few days, then you would probably have seen this. It looks like it's a screenshot from, I believe, Reddit or someplace similar. Okay. So I'm going to read it real quick, give y'all the rundown, some of the comments I've seen, and we're going to go from there. The caption or the title of this says, I broke up with my boyfriend over the Tubi Super Bowl commercial. If you guys watch the Super Bowl, then you know exactly what commercial this is referencing to. I, 23 female, broke up with my boyfriend, 25 male, over the reaction he had to me over the commercial. For those of you who are unaware, during the Super Bowl commercials, Tubi, a streaming app, played a prank where they made it look like someone was changing the TV over to their app. I'm sure that in many households it caused chaos and it was a funny event, but not in mine. My boyfriend thought I was the one changing the channel and began screaming at me violently, calling me things that I don't even want to write down. Even as I told him it was a commercial, he ignored me and kept blowing up at me and punched a hole in our living room wall. He eventually realized what actually happened and awkwardly apologized, but I was so disgusted over his reaction to a 15-second commercial. I feel like if you can't keep your anger in check and get that violent over something so small, I don't want to be around for it. We'd been together for over a year, living together for the past 2 months, and I've known him to get angry at things sometimes, but this really took me off guard, and I can't forget how unsafe I felt around him during this. In the morning, I took some of my things, and I'm now staying at my parents' house. I left him a note telling him how I felt and that I didn't think we were going to work out long term. He's been messaging and calling me repeatedly. My parents told me that I'm overreacting since he had a bit to drink and the Super Bowl gets everyone riled up, but I don't feel I am. I don't think it's normal to be that angry. So, this was shared, like I said, across social media, some groups. I think the first time I saw it said that the caption said that she good on her for leaving her boyfriend and she needs to leave her parents too. Um, I'm not sure if this person is a troll or not, but it leads some interesting perspective because it really makes you wonder how many other people feel like her parents feel. She said, social media fooling you hoes into messing up your outlooks on relationships in real life. She's wrong. A Kang was enjoying his leisure, and there she was swearing. I get it. It was Tubi's fault, but like, let your man vent and calm him down. A kiss would have sufficed instead of swearing. I know men who enjoy getting massages on their balls while enjoying the game. Know your man. Y'all know how important these games are to them. So this is what we're doing. We blaming women for a commercial. for leaving him, and they think she overreacted. Do you think she overreacted?
No, I think she did the right thing of leaving, because he showed her who he was, and I would have believed him. Because the next thing it would have been her head, especially since initially he thought it was her.
Yeah.
And I'm big on when people, I like to see people get mad, and I feel like I don't want to like provoke them get mad, but not knowing how somebody react emotionally to certain things is to me a red flag. Some people are generally, and if they can control their emotions, like you've seen them in situations that many people would have gotten upset and they handle it well. That's different. That shows that they can handle it well. But if they avoid handling tough situations or don't talk about certain things, to me, that's kind of like a red flag. I would have left too. I would have left my parents' house too, because that means your parents condoning violence.
Yeah. I don't understand how, as her parents, they would like really blame her for that. Makes you wonder what kind of dynamics that they have for both of them to be like, "You're doing too much. Go back to him."
They probably got private DV.
For sure.
A lot of parents back in the day had private DV, and then their kids found out years later that their mom was in emotionally and mentally abusive relationships, and some physical, because physical doesn't always have a sound to it. He can literally could have choked her out in the room when the kids sleep, and you never know.
You think your mom has a thing for scarves? Yeah. I'll never forget, I was in college and somebody had shared a story, and she wasn't advocating for this, but she said it worked out well for her parents. She said that initially, like, he abused her mom and hit her and did some jacked up things to her, and at some point had a shift. I don't know exactly what that change was, but he no longer does that. And that she said they have the most beautiful relationship now, that they've been able to, he doesn't do that. I guess they were able to start over and healing. I don't know how that, yeah, I don't know, but maybe they might be one of those people. Like early on when he was young and dumb, they chalked it up to him being young and dumb in the beginning of their relationship. He might have gotten real violently upset like that and punching holes and stuff, and now he doesn't do it anymore. But maybe that's why. But I just want to say congrats, Queen, for knowing your worth, and not staying to see if and when things could get worse, because they might not. I mean, I won't say that that's a guarantee that he's gonna, but I mean, statistically, it's not looking that good for her to stay. So I think she's wise. And I hope that she finds some place to stay away from her parents, because they're no help. Especially if he knows where her parents live, they're the type to be like, "Oh yeah, she's here," and tell them. And I do hope that even when she moves out of her parents' home, she does not tell her parents where she is, because they strike me as the type, knowing this, that he's really not the safest for your daughter to be around. And then they'll go, like, he'll roll to their parents' house or contact them and say, "Where is she?" And they will tell him exactly where she is. They're the type of parents who do that. And you hear about these stories about like people leaving because dangerous situations or unhealthy relationships, or sometimes downright like domestic violence, and their family members will tell where they are. And they do stuff like that, mm-hmm. And people don't pay enough attention to that type of stuff when they do crap like that. When your response to, "Oh, you're doing too much, you're overreacting," when to a very serious thing. Like, why would you be that mad? Even if she did it an accident, even if she accidentally hit it, why would you be that mad? Like, I remember when somebody posted in one of the comments, and they were like, "My dog does it all the time. All the time. Will accidentally change the channel, like, or hit the remote. So what are you gonna do? Like, it's an accident. You just get the remote, change it back, and go on about your day." Like, I was really appalled. But it does make me wonder that was this like the final straw from her? Were there red flags that she might have missed? Or maybe she didn't miss them, but it wasn't an instant let me leave him type red flag. But it was like, let me keep note of this. And then when he did that, it was like, oh, okay, I've seen enough. I just wonder. I mean, I don't know. I don't know her. What are your thoughts?
I just think he needs to go to anger management. I don't think at any time someone punching a fucking wall because they're upset that the channel changed. Like, I've sat on the TV remote plenty of times by accident and like on a good show and it happens. So you gonna slap the heck out of me? Like, you made me miss it. That's what streaming apps is for. If you want to go running back.
Yeah.
If a Super Bowl make you do that, don't watch it.
But it was a commercial break. That was the crazy part. Like, even if it was like, it wasn't even the game.
If a Super Bowl make you that mad, don't watch it. Like, I don't get why you feel the need to punch a wall. I don't. And she needs to go find somewhere else to live. Because I wouldn't be staying with my parents either.
No, hell no. But I wouldn't tell them where I was going.
Nope. Where you going? Don't worry about it.
Nah, I don't.
Since you agree with him, you probably going to tell him where I'm at anyway.
Right. Because if he's calling her, then chances are he's gonna pop up eventually if he knows where they live.
People do that when they get drunk. If you don't know how to hold your liquor,
don't drink.
You shouldn't drink.
Agreed.
I don't do embarrassment, so I don't like hanging out with people that can't hold their liquor, curse people out, rude. No, I'm good.
Not for real. But it's just interesting to see like some of the people who agreed with her parents.
Well, a lot of people agree because people have DV guilt. Like, or people who have stayed and things did get better. They like, if you got to stick it out, they working through their, no, I'm not. I will never, even if you stayed and it got better, that's not good advice to stay.
No, luckily for that, she did preface, the person who told me that story, she did preface that. She goes, I don't agree and I don't think that a woman should have to stay to get that, but it worked out for her.
For them.
That's what she said. Yeah. I will applaud her for that. Some people are like, well, it worked for them. You should just stick it out. No.
No. Because my thing is, we are a very reactive society instead of proactive.
Yeah.
When you see red flag, like serious, not like, oh, he said, because he did something, not nothing,
We're not talking about that.
It don't have to be blow ups either. There are some small red flags that lead to big ones that create a huge impact.
True. Like
they say, yeah, I need to get out of here. We shouldn't wait till a wall get bust through. But like sometimes that might be it. That might be the first like woo.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'm out of here.
And that's why I was like, but the length of time they were together,
they also wasn't together long living together.
2 months living, but they were together about a year. I mean, the whole year he did. Well, she said he got mad, but
it wasn't like,
but not that mad. But he's gotten pretty mad. She did say that he's gotten mad. Yeah, so it might have been scary. Mad. Yeah, but like, there's ways to get mad and not be like scared mad. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if you get mad, I get scared. Not because I think you're gonna hit me, just because you don't really get mad. So that means like whatever made you mad, like, is bad, I prefer it not be me, but and most of the time it's not, is it? I don't think so. But I just be like, ooh. So I can't imagine being with somebody who, when they get mad, oh, sorry, because I had the thing up on here, the picture. When they get mad, like they get violent. Like, first of all, if you rent, who the hell wants to keep paying for these holes or patching them yourselves Or if you own your home, who the hell keeps wanting to either patch them yourselves or pay somebody to patch them? Like, who wants to do that? I wouldn't. Like, who wants to continuously not know you're going to come home to broken stuff because they're mad? Like, I don't know about you, but I like my things.
But that's the society. They always telling women to stay. They're telling people stay. To go through it for better or for worse. And then when that person in the grave, you're like, dang, why did they stay?
Yeah.
Why didn't they leave?
But it's little stuff like that, like you said, leads up to the big stuff. And like, people fail to realize when situations do turn violent, it didn't just one day. The dude, in most instances, I'm going to say dude because statistically, most of the time it is men. Are there women who abuse their husbands? Yes, but statistically, we talking to the women. Typically, the men don't just upside their head with no warning or just because. Like, there are small, subtle things, but it's done so subtle that most of the time people don't even realize it's been happening until you look up and that first hit comes or the first time they say something really disrespectful and you don't have anybody to reach out to.
And a lot of time violence is created in playful moments because people have inner power that they don't talk about.
Yep.
Like if you playing and you come up behind them and choke them and it's like it's not bad. They're like, ooh, I like the way that that release,
or they get off.
It's an internal release for them that they would never tell you about.
Or they get off on like making you uncomfortable, like purposely. Like if I walk up to you and I know you don't like this, and I do, and you're like stop, and I do it for like 2-3 seconds longer than when after you tell me to stop before I release you.
And then like shit be careful like that with your words, Toys too. Yeah. Like, ooh, I'm scared of him, but not like you scared. Cause I had an ex I told her like, I'm scared of you, like, but we was joking, like, ooh. And then she took that and ran with, like, she tried to intimidate me because weight-wise, she was bigger than me, but I was never literally scared of her. But saying that gave her some type of power. So she thought she had control over me. I would never leave because I was scared of her. It was all a joke. In the moment it was a joke, but you never know what power you get somebody even when playing.
That is true.
Because they're not going to talk about that internal power stroke that they get with you. So it's like, ooh, like throwing them up against the wall, and it's not sexual.
Right. And you're pinned and you don't feel comfortable. You're not turned on and you're visibly uncomfortable.
And that gives
that
radiates your uncomfortableness, gives them something that they like control. Like people who lack control in their personal lives.
That is definitely personal, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Or like I was saying, people just men don't typically go upside women's heads like without their precursors. And there are things where like they poke holes in all of your relationships with other people, especially the healthy ones that don't like them. Those are always the ones that always poke holes and try to and they use like logic. So they'll take like something seemingly minor and blow it up and make it huge. And so something that you would have brushed off like, oh, that's just them. They're like, no. Mm-mm. And they get you to like start really doubting your friendship with that person, and they twist their words. They're like, I don't really care about you, see? And she'll call you and say, hey, you're supposed to have lunch with your friend. And your friend will call you and be like, hey, I'm sorry, my kid is throwing up. I can't make it. I need to stay home. And instead of being like, you'd be like, okay, girl. You'd be like, see, he didn't care about you. That's why she clicked on you. She don't want to hang out with you. Just do little stuff like that. And that's just an example. Like, it's just small.
Or they raise their voice at you. Sometimes it starts with raising the voice or punching a wall.
But or angry, I'm sure he raised, and I'm sure it's not the first time when he's gotten mad, he's raised his voice at her. I just think that was the final straw for her.
Bruh, what the fuck?
Yep, where she accidentally dropped something, she probably screamed or, didn't charge his controller for his game. And he probably went the hell off, or playing games went the hell off. It was like, because sometimes people get hyped. You be like, yeah, take that, or, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. People get hype about games, but it's like not his work. Yeah. But people chalk it up to, I guess he's really intense about his games. Until you disrupt the game. And then, yeah, I really wonder how many parents, like.
There's a lot of parents like that, like I said. And generally, I feel like the parents who feel that way secretly stayed in a DV relationship and it got better. Like, I stayed, I stuck it out. So how many times do I got to deal with this before I leave? It's a lot of parents. If I have children, I'm never telling them to stay in a situation they are. Even if I stayed, I'm not telling them to stay and put up with nothing. If they don't treat you right, period, get out of there. You need to come healed and ready to love. You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to take on all of that energy. You shouldn't have to take on that. You have to put up with nothing. And I'm not saying that you're not going to go through anything, but there are certain ways to handle stuff. A lot of people suck at communication and they suck at emotional regulation. So if you get in a relationship with someone who can't control their emotions, nor they can't communicate their feelings, that's almost like a ticking time. That's like a formula for almost a ticking time bomb ready to happen. They might be working on it. But if they're not even putting any effort to fix, yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we talk to wait it out. Why are we waiting? I teach people, ask them hard questions up front. Because if you want a family and they don't, no, we're not waiting to see if you one day want a family. Find somebody that want a family. That's why you don't have relations too early, because your thought patterns get clouded about those things. Then you'll be like compromising on certain things that don't need to be compromised. You're like, but I like the way she, maybe we could figure out some things. No. I witnessed abuse growing up from my uncle and his girlfriends. I've seen it firsthand. Bad. He was abusive. And it was bad. And that caused a lot of trauma in my personal life, seeing that at 5 and 6 years old. No, that's not the reason why I like women. Because people all got their own theory on that.
See, I wasn't even going to ask that. I was going to say, do you feel like situations like that shape the way you approach relationships now?
No. I just always made sure I wasn't him.
That's what I mean.
Like, I thought you mean like
how
in a negative way.
No, like positively.
Oh, no, yeah, positively, yes. Yeah. Positively, yes. I said to myself, if it ever come to a point where, because women do work your nerves to the point, but if it ever got to that point where it worked until I want to put my hands on you, it's time for me to go, because that's out of my character. It's time for me to go. I'm like, you're not going to keep continually almost get me out of my character. And it's like some women know how to push buttons, and they do it, and they're toxic. So if you a brother watching this, get out. You have exit strategies too on the opposite end. If anyone ever gets you to the point where you want to put their hands on them, get out. Because women I'm not touching you, I'm not putting your hands on you, in his face. Because, but he's bigger than me. So what?
I was taught that early on, and that's before my brother got real huge and angry, like just in general, just because, and it might have been a sexist thought pattern behind it, but at the end of the day, it also comes down to your safety. Men are a lot bigger than we are. So even if you push them out of their element and you make them that mad that they put their hands on you, they could really do some damage. They could. Like I was taught that. Like my mom taught me that. Like don't don't do
Taught
that.
you what?
Not to like go out of my way to provoke men like on purpose.
Yeah, like that's
on purpose.
toxic.
I mean, granted, personalities
Whether
clash. It's not. She's not talking about that. Just like purposely, like
there's some women
"I'm
like
not
that.
touching
Yeah,
you."
there's some women that know men they
What
don't
buttons-
like that,
what buttons to
and
push.
they do it, and then they try to be sexist with it. You're a man, suck it up, deal with it. I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm grown. And then when your ass end up across the room, oh my god,
Yep.
and then you don't tell, and they're not even gonna ask you how you ended up over there. They just know a man put you there, so he's going to jail. He gonna get charges. Like I feel like I'm a two-sided person. It go both ways.
For sure.
Stay in your lane and stay out of his or hers. Because there are some dynamics where it's two women. It doesn't matter. Don't if somebody asks you to get out of their face and leave them alone, get out of their face and leave them alone. Don't keep trying to push somebody's button and then play victim.
Yeah.
But in that girl situation, her parents are trash.
For sure.
And if you're a parent on here and you agree with them, you trash. Like it's no point. No.
I mean, your parents are there supposed to be there to protect you and guide you, and not guide you to your demise. Like guide you to logic and safety, and be like, you know what?
Oh, the Super Bowl. People get hype about it, and he was drinking a little bit. What?
So that caption I read about the girl saying that she should have just kissed him and calmed him down. Most of the people in the comments were like, this has to be a troll. You've got to be serious. I know you fucking lying. Like, those are the things that
it got to be a troll for her to, like, she was definitely looking for likes for that. People know what to say to go viral. And generally it's the opposite of how they really feel in real life. They just trying to get you to share their video and say, I know you fucking lying.
Oh yeah, well that was in a group, so you can't. That one you couldn't share.
But I'm just saying, people do that all the time.
Yeah, to get a lot of reaction and stuff.
Yeah. Because there's no way you have that thought pattern.
She probably does though. I mean, I don't know if she does, but there are people who probably do.
Well, people like that toxic shit.
I think it's funny.
They think it's funny. They like, ooh, he get angry. You made my kitty. Like stuff like that. Then they like, oh, we can go make us like they make them mad to have sex. I'm like, that's toxic. I'm not doing all that.
That is, you know what I wonder? Dang, I lost my train of thought that quick.
Sorry.
No, it's not you. It was just what was the last thing you said?
I said people make people mad, and it's like, oh, I want to make you mad to have sex. I heard people say that.
I do wonder. Nah, I won't say that. Never mind. Nah.
But I wonder the kink in the world for me.
Yeah.
That's not like we can have sex without me getting upset. Like I'm raising my blood pressure, going off just to have that. If you ain't getting that rage, that like that pound you need regularly, then they don't know what the fuck they doing. Cause you can get a little rage in the bedroom without making them mad. Like, I don't understand why that's a requirement.
But it is for some.
Ain't that much kink in the world for me.
Me either.
At that point, because I know me, if I'm mad, I'm not gonna want to have. Like, I don't want to have sex at that point. But this dude, and I know exactly the moment because we went to a Super Bowl event and everybody was like, what just we thought it cut out too. But it was and there was no one in there was like, yo, put that back on.
I was like, can you change that back? Like what? I was like, where the remote at? They just looked at me like, I don't know what you're talking about because they didn't touch it.
I was like, oh, somebody sat on the remote because it happens.
Dang, they really sad though. When it really did, I was like, dang. At first, I thought because somebody was on their phone giggling. So first, I thought somebody had did like one of those like because the app thing, because you could do that for ITV. I thought maybe they was like, because it was like the commercials. They didn't do it during the actual game, so maybe I thought it would have been funny. I was like, we was like joking around, like you did it.
And then it came back. He was like, oh,
yeah. That was funny. But yeah, nobody punched a hole in the wall and got mad. Like, it's not that serious.
It's really not. And if you agree that if you got men to do that, then and you put up with it, have the day you deserve, baby. I've been upset, but like I don't punching a wall or someone else. No, never. I always said if someone get me out of my character like that, it's time for me to go.
Yeah.
And I would communicate. I was like, you bringing out the worst in me, and that's not who I am. And I'm like, we ain't working out.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
We ain't working out.
You ever felt that way? Or is that just one of your personal policies?
That's my personal policy. Even in a marriage, if it got to the point where like I'm often feel like I want to put my hands on you, I'm often upset, like to the point of rage. This is a wrap. It's over.
Was the first time would you try to remedy that, or the first time you'd be out?
Depends on the situation. We already had that conversation. I'm telling you. It would depend on how severe it was.
Got it.
Because people get off making up, bringing that type of person out of somebody. I want to see you upset. You won't. I know how to handle my emotions, or like, you broke my favorite thing.
That's sad.
If it's not intentional, depending on what it is, I might be like, hey, you gonna replace that? But I'm not gonna be like, yo, you broke my why would you do that? No. Not gonna do it.
Stop that.
Why would you do that?
You know yawning is contagious.
It really is.
Don't do that no more. It's not late enough for the yawns. We still have things to do. Can't be yawning.
It's early. I need to go to bed.
We are going to bed. I didn't say those type of things. I was talking about like eat.
I'm not hungry anymore.
How you not be hungry no more?
Because I'm more sleepy than hungry.
Oh man. I hate that feeling. You're like, do I want to eat or do I want to sleep? Like, what do I want more?
I don't get enough sleep, so I probably would choose sleep mostly because I don't get enough good sleep.
Why? You gotta figure out why you don't get good sleep. That's what you gotta do.
Well, right now it's because of my back.
You take something.
Yes.
No, to help you sleep.
I don't want to be taking that though.
I got something kind of natural that won't be too bad. We can take it with some juice. I'll take it too. Then we can go to sleep. No? I'm not trying to. What the fuck?
Nope, get down, sit.
I'm sick of you scaring me today. Like, I feel like this is his whole mission is to scare the crap out of me. So those of you who have animals probably have this happen. Where something will brush your leg because you think the mofo over there up the steps, and you don't realize that they've somehow at some point migrated closer to you. So that initial brush is like, what is touching me? You're like, oh crap, it's an animal. That's kind of what he's got me with this a couple times today. Like he was over there chilling, and then I looked down and he's brushing my leg. Or earlier he was at the top of the steps and he brushed my leg, and like just his ear flicked my leg, and I was like, oh, what the hell? It's just a weird sensation if you don't like see what is touching you. So I think that's his mission today, is to do that, because he's the same one has done that to me a few times. So. But yeah, I'm trying to think of something. Hold on. I was looking for something. Shit, why did you do that? Oh. Let me this one. I already got this one up. I was trying to find that group.
What group?
That one of the first time I saw that, the Reddit thing was somebody shared it on my page.
Oh no, the first time I saw it was on Dominique page, and then you shortly text me it.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, homegirl need to roll out, bro. Don't know how to keep his hands to him. I was like, you busting a hole in the wall over a freaking TV commercial? Yeah, that's gonna be her head, and that's it.
Right. It definitely.
It could. Let me say it's not. I'm not gonna make a definite.
Statistically,
yes, because the thing is, he was mad at her, and my thing is, if it's a commercial, even if she played a prank, why are you getting that mad to the point of punching a hole in the wall?
Oh, that joint's in the rafters.
If I'm like, switch the channel, switch it back, switch the channel, you know. It's a commercial. Like, why are you getting that mad? And then you had to eat your pride.
But it's the repetitive calling after she's already told you this isn't going to work. Like, that's weird to me. That to me set off a huge red flag as well.
Yeah, what are you calling for?
She's already made it known that she doesn't want to talk to you anymore. And after she's ignored a few of your calls and hasn't returned them, you should really just take the hint.
Right. Generally, people make themselves out to be exactly who they said they were when you keep doing that. A stalker.
Yep.
Right. Move on. You probably got a wife anyway. Because there's a lot of that going around. Private relationships.
Oh, you talking about that girl on TikTok.
That's weird.
5 months. But the crazy thing wasn't even private. They went on a trip to Vegas together, posted pictures and all.
So I didn't know. I'm talking about them, the relationship itself.
Yeah,
it wasn't private because I'm saying, but I'm just talking about.
But that's the crazy part, and she knew where to find it. Like she knew his address. She got his address somewhere because she knew how to roll up. And his wife answers the door.
It be the women that be mad at a woman though. Some women.
She was.
Some women do. The second woman do generally know sometimes that they married.
Yeah.
But in this case, she didn't.
And the wife kept saying, "It's your fault," and she was like, "She didn't know." The guy said that he was single or whatever.
Like we was just up in Vegas. What did she tell?
He's true.
What did she tell you that she was gonna be at? Oh, that's like a garage door, but it's the washer.
Oh, we don't have no garage.
I know it sounds like a garage.
I know. I was like, we don't have no garage. It's a nice garage.
So anyways, if you're watching live or the replay, tell us what you think about that situation. So the recap of the whole story is boyfriend, girlfriend was sitting on the couch, wherever they were sitting, watching the Super Bowl. The Tubi commercial comes on, and they make it as if somebody was changing the channels in the commercial, within the commercial, 15-second commercial. Boyfriend goes off on girlfriend, calls all types of names, gets mad, punches a hole in the wall, and then he comes to find out that it wasn't her. It was an actual commercial. And then he attempts to apologize. She not feeling it, how he reacted about a commercial. You know, in her mind, she's probably thinking it could be me next time.
And she did mention that he's gotten angry before, but not quite that angry. Yeah.
But which means that he has an escalation of anger.
Yes, it's been escalating.
So,
yeah.
She wants to move with her parents.
Oh, no, she did.
And the parents said, "Oh, he just had a little drink. It's Super Bowl. You know, guys get all crazy about."
They told her she was overreacting.
Mhm. Would you tell your kid that she was overreacting if that was your kid in the situation? What would you say to your kid? And if you was the woman, would you have left?
Yeah.
It's no judgment. Hey, if you want to
And
stay,
even if I didn't have my parents or an option to immediately leave to, I would be silently planning my exit. Like that, I would have checked out and literally just been going through the motions for my own safety while I worked on either saving or securing the spot. If I didn't have an option, like if I couldn't figure out how to make it work or whatever. Yeah. Going through motions. Doing anything I could do to keep him happy so my head ain't next. That'd be me. I wouldn't do it. Would you?
I'd be out.
No.
I don't do it, and especially growing up around it, but I don't play like I don't even like nobody putting their hands around my neck. I don't like being pinned down. Like if I say let go, let go. It ain't gonna be pretty if you don't. Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
She don't do that to me.
That's not nice. Why would you do that to somebody?
Yeah, like I don't play like being locked in rooms or holding the doors. I don't like being locked in places.
I always thought those kind of pranks were weird. I mean, they did them like growing up. People around me did those to like other people. But I never thought they were funny. I never found them entertaining. Because why would you do that? And I keep thinking about that movie Jawbreaker. You ever seen that movie Jawbreaker? Well, her dumbass friends literally secure her mouth with a jawbreaker. Like they kidnap her as a joke to get her to like a birthday surprise, and one of their dumbasses shoves a huge, big old jawbreaker in her mouth. And of course, as you suck on jawbreakers with the saliva, they get smaller, and she passes. So when they open the trunk for a surprise, yeah, that's the movie Jawbreaker. But there's a whole thing too, because that's how like the movie pretty much kind of like. That's kind of like how the movie starts, and then
it starts that like you have to live.
It's like one of those like teen dramas, so it's not like a horror movie. It's like one of those. It's done lighthearted, like come on, like it's not designed, and they're like they open the trunk, they're like, oh, and then you look down, and you're like, oh, like it wasn't. It's not a horror movie.
I know, but like, who want to watch a movie after that?
It was good. I mean, it was a good movie. Jawbreaker. It's just But anyways, I think of stuff like that, where like people, they taped her mouth shut, so like they put the jawbreaker and they put like duct tape over it so it couldn't come out. Very dumb. They figured that out because one of the girls like, you did that? Like that wasn't the plan. What? Yeah. When they realized what happened, but it ended up being this whole thing because now you got a body. Yeah. Anyway. It wasn't done on purpose, but I think of stuff like that, like when people like
would they go to jail for that as murder?
Yeah, that's a what's it called? Yeah, because they could probably get away with what's it called? Brain late, because it wasn't done on purpose, like they weren't, but it's basically it
wasn't premeditated.
It wasn't premeditated. It wasn't really murder. They didn't mean to. Like it might be manslaughter because you did something stupid, which resulted in a death.
Okay.
But you didn't intentionally kill her, so it'd be manslaughter.
They need to add something for stupidity.
It is.
No, they need to add charges for stupidity.
What is it? Oh, and additional charges.
Yes. Yeah. Like, why would you put like that's like even putting a piece of that type of candy in your mouth and just laying back.
Yeah, that was big. It was like, ugh. So when they did it, it was like,
yeah, I know.
But by the time I had her on her back, and it was crazy. But anyways, manslaughter. Why I couldn't get the words out? Jeez, manslaughter, because they did something. Don't ask me if it's involuntary, voluntary. I don't remember.
Right,
well, one of them was responsible. Like you did something stupid, or your actions directly resulted in the death. And it wasn't like you intentionally caused her harm, and your intentions were not to harm her, but your actions harmed her. Well, your actions killed her at that point.
Right.
So,
wow.
But I don't think, second. I don't think they can get you on second degree because like I said, their intent wasn't to kill her. Now, you low-key find out that girl's intent was to kill her, then probably. But again, I don't have a law degree. I didn't go to law school. I don't know for sure, so don't hold me to this. You people. You're like, you said this. No, I'm not. Just what I believe. Based off of memory, my dad tells me all these things, and I read up on the stuff, but I don't know off the top of my head. But I'm pretty sure they could probably also pin them on some other dumb rules or like dumb laws, like Trump, like to make it stick a little bit more. Like they'll get it with manslaughter, reckless endangerment, like stuff like that.
Yeah, they would need all of that.
Yeah, like a bunch of other stuff. I'm sure a good lawyer, prosecutor, attorney will charge them a lot of things. As much as they can, just like you said, to make their sentence longer and to, if one charge gets dropped, then something else may pick up, that type of thing. But every time people talk about like holding people down or pinning people down against their will, I think of that. Like, you never know people, like you just never know how people's, like what if you hold them down like by their shoulders and they have like this weird condition and you like dislocate their shoulder and like they're like, I don't know, like the bone shifts or you just never know. And that's why I think of things like that. Like they didn't intend to hurt her, but they did. I think of something like.
Out of all things to get somebody to a surprise party, fake kidnapping.
I think the goal was literally put tape over her mouth and get, put her in the trunk, surprise her there. I forgot.
The surprise was for her?
It was her birthday. Stop! It was her birthday. It was like I haven't seen this movie in like a bajillion years, but it was her birthday. It was her, yeah. It was like not like a birthday party. I think they were doing like a
don't do nothing like that to me. If it's my birthday, just say happy birthday. Stay away from me.
Yeah, it was like her birthday.
How you kill somebody on their birthday?
Or it was an accident.
It's supposed to be a surprise. Surprise!
They got the biggest surprise. The movie, it's not funny, but it's not like a horror movie. Like I said, it wasn't a horror movie or anything like that. I think it's like more of like a thriller. Whodunit.
It was like Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead type movie.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like it wasn't a thriller or like.
Yeah, but it's just like damn.
Just like
then they spend the whole movie like trying to cover it up, basically, kind of like because they don't want to go to jail. Because it wasn't. I mean, it was an accident.
They don't ask about it.
They're high schoolers, okay? They don't have.
I wasn't that dumb.
Obviously, they don't have the best logic. I mean, I wasn't that dumb in high school either.
Stop putting it on high school because I wasn't that.
No,
dumb.
I'm just saying. But sometimes they are, especially if they're really sheltered,
like,
or they're really sheltered, or they don't have life experience that causes them to have to think about things before they do them. They just do things because there's no consequences. That tends to happen a lot.
Entitled children gonna have that issue.
Yes. Yeah.
When y'all do everything for y'all kids.
That or titled or just don't
you're not put in situations where you have to think. Critical thinking.
Or are forced to think before they do things, and their actions don't typically have consequences.
And it's the moment they like panic, like I can't think. You're not thinking. You're stressing.
Or you do stuff like that, right? You don't. Yeah, your actions don't have consequences. They're not like, dang, maybe I should think before I do it. They just do it.
You got covering up.
No, or their just actions just don't have consequences.
Yeah. I punched my sister. Oh, it's just sibling love.
Yep, stuff like that. Yep.
What?
Yep. You beat up your classmate. You go to the principal's office, and your classmate gets in trouble, and you don't.
Like, well, what did you do then? So and so.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
And they ain't did nothing. Well, you had to do something.
Yep.
Because he wouldn't have never.
Yeah.
That part.
Well, I don't have anything else on this topic, do you?
No.
Before we go, I just wanted to say this again. For anybody who may be new or maybe missed the last few times we said this, as you see posts on this page, we're going to encourage you to please interact with them. Interacting with things does not mean you have to buy anything. It doesn't mean that you're like forced to or you're committing to anything. It's just a nice free way to support us. by liking, engaging in comments, tagging people that might be interested. We launch a new product and it may not be, if you just say, oh my God, I love it. They're so pretty. It doesn't mean you're going to buy it. We'll just say thank you, but we appreciate the engagement. We are noticing a trend that you guys are only interacting with the fun stuff that we're posting, and you're not interacting with the business stuff or the encouraging
Hey,
stuff,
like not even the encouragement.
or the encouragement stuff or the jokes. It's only the games, and that's fine. That I'm glad that you like them, but in order for us to keep posting those, we also need you to interact with the other stuff that you see from this page as well. Again, interacting with it doesn't force you to buy. It's not committing to anything. We're not going to beat you up in your inbox and be like, you must buy. No, it's just helps us out. Because Facebook goes, oh, because what happens is Facebook will show our post to 10 of you, and you're like, I'm not encouraging shit. I'm in a horrible space. Fuck that positive shit. Mm-hmm. That's what y'all be saying. I know. And then Facebook like, okay, well, these 10 people don't like it, so nobody else wants to like it. And so it drops our viewership, which doesn't help us, right? Like, I get it. If it's not for you, not everything that comes across my timeline is for me. And that's okay. But you can go ahead and love it, like it. Oh my God, I really like that colors you use, or that, what a great message. And then I go on about my day. And if I think somebody that will benefit from that item or service, I tag them. Or I go share it into their DMs and say, hey, this might be good for you. I do a lot in the DMs. Y'all just don't know. Because a lot of times you hit share. A lot of times you hit share, it doesn't tell you where. And sometimes it could be because the person shared it to somebody's DMs. So just free ways, again, to support. You know, we like before you share it to somebody's DM, please give it a heart and then drop it in somebody's DM. Comment on it first and then drop it. You know, just doesn't cost you anything. We always talk about, especially people who are, we got to support our communities. Well, you're looking at your community. We are Black. We are part of your community. That's a free way to support.
But you're gay.
Look.
So I don't see Black. I see gay.
We need to talk about intersectionality, and that's a conversation for another day. However, if you feel that way, then go ahead and please hit the unlike. And that's
unfollow.
Okay too. Unfollow, and don't interact with anything, whether it be a game or a sales post, if you're not going to help us grow. If that's how you feel.
Because you notice how people who come in community, when it come until they forgot to add the unless you gay. Oh. Then I see gay first. I don't care if you Black, you're gay, so I don't support that. You're going to hell. So if I buy a shirt, I'm going to hell too. That's how some people. Well, why would you even want to be on the page of an openly gay couple, but you don't want to interact with them because you don't want to be deemed as a hypocrite because you talk about our community outside of this community?
That is a conversation for another day because other cultures don't do that. White folks don't do that. They prioritize their whiteness first, then they're gay. Most of the time. They prioritize their whiteness first, then they're a woman. Most of the time. That is why you see some of the results that you see in like elections and stuff, or how they feel about certain things. It's because they prioritize that first. And I say that it's not to divide and be divisive, so we're not entertaining that. I'm not entertaining that commentary. But you think about coming together, they rally first. They didn't deal with the rest of the shit later. And we do shit so fucking backwards, and you wonder why we can't move forward or progress from where we are. Because you're worried about arguing over something that really doesn't affect you. Because at the end of the day, we're both Black. They're not going to go, oh, well, she's gay and Black. They're just going to see two. And that's going to be the end of it. I just wish that more of you, Black people, remembered that. Doesn't matter. Who cares why you feel the way you feel, whether it be religious purposes or that's what you think because you grow out in the middle of nowhere, you're not exposed to new things, or that you have been taught to fear things you don't understand. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, just remember when they look at you, They're not going to differentiate that you're one of the straight ones. Okay, you're the Christian ones. They're not going to differentiate. They're not going to pause and ask you before all they're going to do is they're going to see your blackness first. And so I encourage you, when you see other people who live differently than you, they're not harming anybody else, harming children, they're honest and upfront about their lifestyle, whether it be multiple partners, who gives a fuck, that you see their blackness first and deal with the rest of that stuff internally, because who gives a fuck?
And it's not going to change anything. We worry about the stuff that don't even affect, like me. I'm a openly gay lesbian woman. Because gay can be used intertwined with men and women.
I know.
But I go into a black community and build a school. I go into a black community and say I build a recreation center that serves my black community. You mean to tell me you're not going to let your kid come to the community center because it was built by a lesbian woman that happens to be black? Or are you going to go because I've done something for the black community?
I'm going to say this because a lot of people don't do their due diligence. That's why we got people who eat Chick-fil-A and other racist organizations. They don't understand or care to know or do the due diligence to learn where organizations and companies are founded. So there's a good chance they may not know. But once I do find out, they're going to say, you're not doing anything because you're not there, because all you did was build it. Now, if you were to be there actively teaching, then they might be concerned. Just an observation. But yeah, so like I was saying, you're on this page. It is a business page. I'm not talking to YouTube. I'm talking to Facebook. So sorry, YouTube, you got to endure this. We're talking to Facebook. If you are seeing posts from us that are not lives, that are not fun and games, we're asking you to interact. Go ahead and hit the notification so you see all that goes for both platforms, so you don't miss notifications. But at the end of the day, you are following a business page, so you're going to see some business posts. You're going to see some things that we're launching and products and services and things. Again, if it's outside of your budget or it's not for you, give it a like and tell us what you like about it. Hell, comment. Oh my God, I love it. I'm going to save up. Whatever, just comment something. It's free. Way to support your community. That's all I got. Anything else?
No. Nope. Don't have anything else.
Hit it.
Remember, you guys, you are the designer and creator of your destiny. You control your future. Do something daily to get you closer to your goals. It's your girl KG. I am the K from SK. It's my lovely wife Stephanie. She's the S from SK. Y'all have an amazing night. Have an amazing day on purpose tomorrow. See you in the AM. 4 KG in the morning.
Bye.
Bye.